Now, do you follow up on the systems every? Again, they turn them in at 5 o'clock every day, or when do the people on your team turn in those checklists?
Well, for us, we'll probably have shift change between 2 and 4 o'clock.
2 and 4.
But somewhere between 2 and 4, the management will kind of gather them together and turn it in.
So let's just kind of go through your day roughly. What time do you get there typically? Is the owner, operator, manager guy?
Generally 8 or 9.
Okay, so you get there. Let's just pretend you said 8. Okay, so 8 you arrive. What time is the shift change?
4.
4 o'clock is the shift change. Okay.
And then we close at 10.
Change, and then 10 p.m. is when you end there?
Now, we open at 6.
So at 6 o'clock is when the open, that's awesome. Okay, 6 o'clock is when we open. Okay, so with this, when does the owner inspect those checklists to make sure they're being done? When do you check in on that?
Well, for us, with Chick-fil-A, we're going to have multiple levels of leadership. So, like my general manager of the store would walk through and kind of inspect and make sure these things are done. Because I'm going to hold him accountable when it comes time for them. And so for me, I will just at random take a look at what's going on. Correct. So I may not look at it necessarily today, but yet tomorrow I may look at it. Because again, I have multiple layers of management, and if they're following these checklists, it should, for the most part, always be done.
Okay, but you follow, because what I see a lot of business, like there's a business I was working with there a couple weeks ago, and I'm talking to this person, and they say, we just cannot keep our retail products stocked. We just can't. Every time we come in, no one has stocked the products. We just can't. We can't find people that want to stock the products. If you were running that retail store, what would be your suggestion for the entrepreneur who can't seem to get their employees to stock the stuff?
You fire them and get someone that will.
Okay, all right.
That's the easy solution. But the reality is, whatever it's important to you, they're going to make sure it happens. So if I was coaching somebody on that, I'd probably say it clearly to the employees is not important enough, for them to do.
Now I'm going to say this real quick on behalf of probably 70% of America's small business owners that I see all the time. If I see 10 small business owners, I bet you 7 of them do not have one thing. A checklist, period. They do not have a checklist for any position in their business. So you see hair salons, bakeries, restaurants, everywhere without checklists.
Right.
Is it required to have a checklist at Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A Incorporated requires that we have systems in place to make sure the store works right.
Okay.
Whatever that may look like. For me, I don't want to be the person trying to manage every person's position. So we have checklists on checklists to make sure that these things get done.
All right. But really it sounds like you have set times. And I just want to look at this. This is look at the beauty of this document. This is like the holy grail of small business here. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, Tyler, if you can see the times there. But you look here, you got, the sinks are being cleaned at this time. The sinks are being cleaned over here, the bathroom. Look at this beauty. And I see a lot of businesses where these things are just not being done on a daily basis.
That's correct.
So, so the magic is in the checklist, it's in the follow-up, it's in those expectations. Now, developing the wowed customer, okay? Mm-hmm. In your mind, what does it mean to wow the customer?
For me, it's how are you taking care of the customer to the level that they did not expect, that they're literally saying, wow, holy moly, what just happened?
We've taken our kids to Chick-fil-A, they come home with balloons. Mm-hmm. They did not expect that. They come home pumped up. Whose idea was that? Your idea? Was it corporate's idea? Who came up with the idea to pass out the balloons?
Well, first of all, every store with Chick-fil-A can be run how that operator feels. Okay. There's certain mandated things. Balloons is not one of them. Okay. But for my store, I have 6 kids, and so I know the impact of the balloons.
Yeah.
And I know that when we're driving down the road and say we want to go eat somewhere, we get outruled by our kids. And so if we can make it where the kids are going, I want to go to Chick-fil-A, frankly, mom and dad will probably go there just to shut them up.
So your goal is to wow those kiddos?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, Henry Ford once said, he says, it is not the employer who pays the wages. Employers only handle the money. It is the customer who pays the wages. Mm-hmm.